Hey guys, welcome to today's video of Fallout lore on the Great War. Now it started. Sorry, it sounds like I'm reading off like a wiki page. It's actually a Word document I typed up. It's a lore video. It probably sounds bad and it's not like a robot in it, but hope you guys enjoy it and see you guys next time.
What are you shooting at? Stay sharp. Don't let your guard
Dance, Jarvie, dance. Change comes to all nations. In the early 20th century, great parts of the world thought that their rule would never end. The Tsars of Russians met downfall at the hands of the Bloody Revolution. Western Europe fought a great war against fascists who fought to build a right that would last 1,000 years. It crumbled in less than a decade. The Japanese believed their imperial rule was eternal, yet they were the first to have pride seared by nuclear weapons. The United States managed with great power in the 1950s. Vast nuclear arsenals through the warfare in the past. Soon after America entered a Cold War with enemies, it was long and easy peace. A perpetual struggle as well fought free strike, a sealed vault for a century. Those wondering listening today might find it hard to believe that only 200 years ago, the richest nation in the world existed here. No death claws, no super mutants, no ghouls. Those who look back then didn't have to fight or survive or scan for supplies. Factories produce everything a person could want by the million. Walking into a store with a stack of paper money could buy as much food, ammo, clothing as they could carry. In fact, the biggest problem people faced was where they keep it all. Highway straight 3,000 miles from coast to coast, with roadside diners selling fresh burgers made from something the old world called cow, riding gas guzzling priceless cars, drinking ice cold soda pop. The Americans enjoyed their prosperity for generations, secure in their belief that their life would never end that way, but they'd be never forced to be evolved. Came slowly at first, but they welcomed it. People weren't satisfied just having a house where fresh water came right out of a pipe in the wall. No, they wanted more, always more. They wanted robots to do their work for them and needed electronic computers to think for them.
For myself.
Companies like Robco filled the demand for domestic robots. Citizens didn't have to with a finger. Mr. Handies could walk the dog, do the laundry, go over the kids, leaving mum and dad free to spend PM or to watch late show on the old Radiation King TV set. Of course, these new fangled technologies needed power to run. Gasoline had been plentiful for over 100 years, but the earth started to run dry by the middle of the 21st century. More and more power came from atomic energy, and thanks to companies like General Atomics, there were atoms spared for decades to come.
War never
Days lit up, robots kept humming, fuel motors kept glowing. Some factories even started tuning out atomic powered car with fuel cells that self-producing today, so don't use those rusted old Corvegas for target practice. Factories churned out toys for kids, teddy bears, and comic books by the ton. Dad could mix his rum with a bottle of Nuka-Cola, and Mum knew spring fashion every year. Shelves were filled with snack cakes, canned meals, and sugar-coated cereal. All of them were pumped with preservatives so they would stay fresh forever, and Mum wouldn't have to go take so many trips to the grocery store. So when she came to consumption, Americans were the best. Yet, with the increased use of atomics, there wasn't enough energy for the billions of people across the world. Oil was precious, they aim never. And the petroleum-rich countries of the Middle East sold their dwindling supplies at ever higher prices. Eventually, the wells went dry in most of the world. The uranium mines were scraped clean. But no one wanted to give up their shiny new technology. Change had come, and with it, war. The Middle East used a limited uranium stockpile for a few years, decades. Instead, the standard on weapons to scores. The European Commonwealth being perfectly joined together in this glorious unified state. It didn't take long before they turned on each other, scrambling for the few last drops of oil within their borders. Alaska, with its abundance of natural resources, remained the source of America's power and the only place on Earth where oil still flowed the far-off territory was a tempting target for desperate China. America's foresaw invasion and fortified Alaska, but nothing could deter China from capturing Anchorage. Then the two reigning superpowers of the world, Canada, was trapped in the middle of it and soon annexed by their neighbours from the south. The entire continent could be The resource war had come to American soil. Or men always think more sufficiently. China used the greatest minds of the East to stealth technology that the other recon teams to infiltrate and assassinate while remaining completely undetected, taking down high-value targets with a single shot. America had its own brand of eccentric genius, with the power of the atom at hand unbounded. American engineers created scientific marvels the rest of the world could not have imagined. The glut of consumer electronics had flooded American stores were only the beginning of the wonders created by the likes of Robco and Poseidon Energy, whose true force was the development of new weapons that could replace the inefficient tools of warfare used in the past decades. Combat robots, energy weapons, cybernetics entered the war as America sought to retake Anchorage. Battles were fought by daring men who fired nuclear warheads from shoulder-mounted crossbows, cyberdogs with a brain as a loyal hound, cased with an unyielding titanium body. Even robot butlers hovered across battlefields armed with plasma guns and flamethrowers. There was even a plan to engineer a new breed of super mutant soldiers, but it was the creation of power armor that ensured America's victory. Power armor combined the ability of an infantry soldier with the resilience of a tank and the firepower of an entire squadron. Fueled by fuel cells, these elite troopers could inflict crippling strikes on Chinese military assets using fraction of the resources a conventional military unit. Early models of power armor were devastating enough, but under a decade of refinement, the T-51B power armor represented the height of the pre-war combat technology. With the aid of these perfected suits, America quickly liberated their territory from the Chinese. Modern-day T-51B has become a symbol of the Brotherhood of Steel, but centuries ago it was the final majestic icon of American exceptionalism. By autumn of 1977, the old conflicts in the Pacific were finished, and most Americans were so tired of decades, and they genuinely believed that peace had arrived. The paranoid, or perhaps the perspective, began stocking their bomb shelters, knowing that China would not simply sink away across the ocean in defeat. A final confrontation was coming. In an effort to preserve the last part of humanity, the Federal NWO, secret enclave of American elite, set about ensuring survival at cost. Victory, rebuilding, no longer viable option. The full intent is lost to history, but documenting plans included taking refuge within a mountain, or an oil rig, or even launching a ship to space to find a new planet to colonize. Modern Enclave claimed to be descendants of that last group of America's elite. That might be true, although many residents of the wasteland would argue it takes more than a flag and a squadron of vertebrates to be the government of the people. Regardless of whether or not the Enclave's claims are true, the majority of America's population did not have access to offshore bases or secret mountaintop fortresses. Fortunately for 100,000 of them, the Vault-Tec Corporation provided access to radiation-proof bomb shelters that could keep each about 1,000 people while waiting for conditions on the surface to calm down. Though we are saving everyone, but it offered hope and kept the public from panicking.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's peace of mind. That's worth a little paperwork, right?
For you
On
and
October
Sean,
23rd,
no price is too
2077,
high.
alarms rang across the United States, signaling the attack.
have my
There
moments.
had been many of playing false lines training drills over the years, and it isn't hard to imagine warrior citizens struggling their shoulders and going with the day, unaware that this was really apocalypse that they had feared. Perhaps people laughed when they saw their names running to Vault-Tec facilities.
You heard Codsworth.
Luckily, people who had been assigned within one of the vaults might have felt safe when the massive doors rolled shut, but they were among the tiny fraction of humanity that could still feel anything when the bombs landed.
The most important man in my life.
Historians don't know much about what happened outside the vaults that day. People weren't concerned about writing in the journals, hard as it is to believe. There are still ways to hear first-hand accounts of the pre-war time. These sources aren't exactly reliable, though, A few rotten ghosts came to have been alive back then. Most of them were just telling tales, hoping to get someone to talk with them for a while.
Yeah.
A few scientists managed to have their brains preserved in jars before the war. Too, some of the old brains still alive, but
What's wrong?
discussed within old days, assuming that he's not went sane, disembodied body for 2 centuries. The right medical treatment had kept at least one person alive since before. Trouble is, with that kind of will to live, he ain't gonna take any chances. You know how people lived before the war? Scavengers and resource teams dug up all sorts of things from the fighters in rusty old box. Who hold the ancient secret to providing clean water, fresh food, or limited electricity. Wasteland, a very modern world could learn from mistakes of the past. America has never truly believed that their way of life would come to such an abrupt end. But change comes to all nations, to all people, to all ways of life. The only constant in man's struggle for survival is war. Because war never changes.